Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Catz, and today I am talking about something very close to my heart, let's say. So if you clicked on this video, you're either just curious or you actually relate with what I'm about to tell you. Maybe you had a job that you absolutely loved and for some reason you had to give that up, or maybe you were fired from that job, or maybe you have this dream job in your mind since a long time, but you were not able to accomplish that dream. I've been working an office job for the last 6 years, and for the longest time I was grieving my old job. I graduated in communication science, and the year of my graduation I got an internship at a radio station, and I ended up getting a job there and worked there for like 4 to 5 years on and off. This was quite a creative job. I worked in several different radio stations of this same media group. I was a radio speaker, like a radio host. I was responsible for creating my own scripts, and it was really fun. The environment there was quite informal. It was really a fun job, and I absolutely loved it. After 4-ish years, I left, and I then got an office job. And you can imagine that this was quite a drastic change to go and work at the computer in an office job in an environment that was quite corporate. I went from having a really flexible schedule to working a 9 to 6 job, and yeah, it was hard. The first year it was really a nightmare to me. I considered quitting a lot of times, but I ended up staying there, and until really not so long ago I was grieving this previous job of mine. I basically cried about this old job like you would cry about an ex-lover that you cannot forget, that you just cannot let go. And if you've been in this place ever in your life, this sucks, because grieving is also the correct word to use here. We don't only grieve when someone passes away, we grieve relationships, we grieve houses, we grieve friendships, and yes, we can grieve jobs. Especially jobs that you loved, and it's quite a difficult process. Today I am actually over it. I'm at peace with my past, with my present, with the situation. And so I wanted to talk about this because it's been so hard to get here. And if I can help someone get there, I will. Let me put it like this. A few years ago, not long ago, like if I think about my parents' generation, the ideal of a good job was a stable job that allowed you to provide for you, to provide for your family. This was what everyone really aimed for. Nowadays, especially if you go on social media, the ideal job is your dream job. You must follow your passion. If you don't have a passion, you must find it, You must not only have a passion, but you have to turn that passion into your job. This creates a lot of pressure. This happens all the time, it's normal. We are part of a society and we are influenced by the age where we are born. We are influenced by society's expectations, by our family's expectations, our friends. We are and should be influenced by all of this. But it can be really hard to really dig deep and be honest with yourself when you have all these rules thrown at you. It might be difficult, but it is possible to figure out what you want, to be honest with yourself. Grab your notebook and take note of what's important to you. What do you value as a person? Not what your neighbor values, what your friends values. What do you value? I understood that stability is really important to me. In my life, love is huge for me. And yes, it's also important for me to have some creativity in my life. And why am I talking about stability so much? Because my previous job, although I loved it, it was not stable at all. Financially speaking, I was really poorly paid. And, when you want to build a life for yourself, to be independent, to be autonomous, these are important things to consider when thinking to myself what's important to me. And this is something that we also discussed in therapy, is that any choice that we make, we have to sacrifice something. So in my current job, I was sacrificing this creative, fun environment that I had in my previous job. If I decided to take the leap and try to work again in a radio station or something similar, I would most likely be risking the stability that I have today. And I just had to figure out what was more important to me. And this was like an impossible mission to me. Sometimes I was decided, yes, I have to go for my dream job, fight for my passion. Other times I was, no, I actually like the job that I'm doing now, and I've created a life for myself. I am not about to risk any of this. And I was like shifting between one and the other for months. Maybe some people just thinking about this, writing it down, talking it out, maybe for some people this would be enough for them to make up their mind. For me, it was not enough. I actually had to take some action towards some way, and I actually applied for jobs. I contacted some voice agencies. I went to a voiceover casting. I also did like this little workshop. It was a whole day where we were just learning how to do voiceover. This is for commercials. I've never done this in my life. I loved doing it. And step by step, I started to understand a bit more about myself. But it wasn't until I reached out to my old colleagues to know of any opportunities that might appear that I realized what I want and what I do not want. This had a tremendous effect on my mind. It was like when you flip a coin, you choose between head or tails, and then while the coin is in the air, you know what you want. You suddenly realize that you want head, you don't want tails. And this was what happened to me. After reaching out to my old colleagues, and they were also nice, I suddenly realized that I did not want to go back to work at a radio station. I realized that that chapter of my life is actually closed. I realized that I really appreciate the job that I have now, and I was finally able to make peace with the fact that I don't work at the radio station anymore. And I cannot tell you the weight that was lifted off my shoulders. But yeah, the moment that leaving my job and finding a new job became a bit more real, I knew that this was not for me anymore. It took me to get out of my head. It took me to take some steps to finally realize what I want. And what is that? I want the life that I've created for myself. I want to be independent. I want stability. Stability is really, really, really important to me, and I am not willing to give that up. And I want to be creative. I want to speak to a microphone. I want to use my voice. And you know what? I can do that. I can do that even if that's not my job. I have this channel. Maybe sometime along the line I will create a podcast in Portuguese, not in English. And I'm actually at a place now in my career where my job allows me to do this, allows me to be creative, allows me flexibility to arrange my own time, my own schedule. With working from home since COVID, I'm now at like this hybrid situation where I'm at the office and I'm at home some days, and this allows me to have the best of both worlds, really. The thing is, and I think this is really hard to really understand and get in your mind, is that your job is not your life. You are not limited by your job. The idea of having a stable 9 to 5, 9 to 6, depending on your country, job is not necessarily incompatible with following your passion. You can have both. Not everything has to be monetized. I can do this and not earn a cent from YouTube. It doesn't matter because I'm still doing something that I love. I think it's cool for society to question the stable job over anything else. It's good that we are doing that because some people are so miserable in their jobs and they just stay there because they think there's no other option. Really? Okay. Ah, fuck. I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes. My neighbor is vacuuming, and I really hope that you cannot hear it, but maybe you can, and I'm sorry about that, but we are almost done, and I'm just gonna keep going. What I was saying, I would not encourage anyone to resign to their situation if they are miserable or if they are not happy. You don't have to be miserable, you might just want to look for something better for yourself, and you should do it. The purpose of this video is not to tell you, give up on your dream, just stability is important. No, because every person is different. We all have a history, a past that built us. We all have different priorities and we value different stuff, really. The main key here is for you to be, 1, honest with yourself, and 2, if you are not able to reach a conclusion, you most likely won't reach that conclusion if you just keep doing the same thing over and over. If you are just sitting with your thoughts for months, for years, I think it's safe to say that that is not working for you. Just thinking about it, it's not gonna get you anywhere. So you have to take some steps. You have to do things to really know what you want in life, what you like, what's important to you. And yeah, it's like I feel like this was a miracle to me, honestly. I was giving up hope to understand myself a bit better, and then it happened. It just took me to act on it, do something. And yeah, this is basically it. I'm at a place now where I am really happy with my situation, where I can be creative in my own terms, which when you are in a job, even if it's a creative one, a lot of times you are not doing it in your own terms. I'm being happy doing what I love, even if it's not my job. And I have a new appreciation for my actual job. And so I just wanted to share my experience with you because you might relate and this might help you somehow. I don't know. This was it for today. I'm really sorry again about my noisy neighbor. I hope you liked this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, please. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos will be coming your way, especially now with my new... autofocus. Wow. With my new camera. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye. Really fulfill us.